This year's Territorial Cup has never been more important, and that's why the offense is ready to deliver for the Sun Devils.
You are Locked On Sun Devils, your daily podcast on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Richie Bradshaw, and I will be your guide for everything Arizona State Sun Devils. Thanks as always for tuning in to make us your first listen of the day, and a shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONCollege to get $20 off your first purchase. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of Hate Week. We are just over 24 hours away from headed down to the place they call the Dirty T, which, can we talk about how weird that is, man? That, I don't get it. That's just a weird thing to be proud of, but, you know, neither here nor there. ASU heads down to Tucson, Arizona to take down the hated Arizona Wildcats for the duel in the desert. In a duel in the desert that has more implications than ASU has seen in years. The closest I can think of would have been, 2013, when ASU went to the Pac-12 championship game to get thumped by Tyler Gaffney and Stanford. Because the 2014 season, ASU went to Tucson and lost, and U of A went on to the conference championship game, but ASU did not. I do think they were pretty deflated, though, after losing to Oregon State. This is a huge game. This game is what will send you to the Big 12 championship game. And when you get to the Big 12 championship game, whoever you play, BYU, Iowa State, Colorado, if you beat them, you win the conference, you are going to the college football playoff. That's crazy. But to get that far, you need to win this game. And this is not a game that ASU should ever overlook as like this guaranteed win for the program. That's not true. This is one of those classic games of take the records and throw them out. It's just one of those games. These programs hate each other. Not just the programs, these schools, these universities hate each other from a political aspect, from a athletic aspect. There we go. There's a lot here that drives this rivalry. And this is a big year. And U of A at 4-7 has nothing to play for. There's no postseason. This is their last football game of the year. ASU has a lot to play for. So U of A is going to come out. They're going to say, we got nothing to lose. They're going to do whatever they can to make you lose that game. And I mean whatever they can. Look out for trick plays. Look out for fake punts, fake field goals, going for it on fourth down. They're going to do whatever they can. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at you and then a little bit more because they want to ruin your chance. And that's why ASU has to take this game seriously in order to get the win. And keep in mind, ASU has lost consecutive Territorial Cups too. They're not trying to lose a third. To win, ASU has to play their best football, and they need to play it for 60 minutes. Not this 30-minute crap that we've seen in the last 2 weeks. Not this up 3 possessions, and then opposing team scores, and then, we answered with a drive, and then never to be heard again. Nope, no more of that. For the rest of the year, no more of that. And it starts with this game. That's why I'm placing a lot of faith in the offense. We're going to talk about the offense first and then the defense. And as per usual, I got some players to watch. We got bold predictions, and we have a final score at the end. The offense. The two main things that I'm looking for. Number one, this is Cam Skattebo. This is Sam Leavitt's first ever Territorial Cup. His first ever duel in the desert. This is a big deal. This is a really, really big deal for a quarterback like Levitt, who has turned ASU's football program around in a very short amount of time, and he's been excellent this year. He has been an all Big 12 conference player this year. He's been nothing short of extraordinary. And ASU is going to need him to continue playing at a high level. Now, last week, he did not play his best game. He was making some good throws. He was testing the defense and pushing the ball deep. He did have a beautiful 61-yard touchdown to Xavier Guillory, all against BYU, but it was not his best game. Considering previously he had 9 touchdowns and 0 interceptions going into that game through 3 games, only 1 touchdown, 1 pick, definitely underwhelming. And you don't necessarily need Levitt to have another 3 touchdown game or 4 or 5 or 10, whatever, but you are looking to see that he is ready to step into the spotlight for this team. It's important that he shows that as early as possible for Arizona State, that, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. That's what we want to see out of him. You're also curious about Cam Skattebo. Skattebo last year had a pretty good game in the Territorial Cup. He ran for 108 yards and a touchdown on 17 carries. He actually did not catch a pass in that game. Very interesting. I mean, ASU also only threw for 82 yards in that game. Everything they did came on the ground, but Skattebo, he was really the only thing that was going right for ASU in that game. Well, he's been on a tear this year. He's had a legitimate Heisman Trophy case with the way that he has been playing football this year. And with almost 1,700 yards and 16 total touchdowns on the season, it stands to reason that this is probably a game that Cam is looking to really push himself over the top. Is he going to get the 2,000 scrimmage yards in this game? I mean, it's possible. I'm not betting on it. Is he going to get the 20 touchdowns in this game? It's possible. I'm not betting on it. But anything can happen against your rival. And Cam Skattebo is going to be one of the most pivotal and important players to being able to get this win. This is a very, very big deal that Cam Skattebo has a good game. And it's going to make the life of Sam Leavitt that much easier. It's no different than any other game. We have said this all year. What is different is the stakes of this game and the fact that it's Arizona. It just means more. Defensively, are you ready for T-Mac? Tetairoa McMillan, arguably the best receiver in college football, not named Jordan Tyson. He's unbelievable. He is going to be, if he declares, and it would be borderline irresponsible for him not to declare for the 2025 NFL draft. He'll be the first receiver off the board. He could be as high as a top 5 draft pick. He is a lock for the top 10. This dude's a beast. He reminds me of Texas A&M's Mike Evans. I've seen people compare him to Drake London as well. Totally respect both of them. He is just a towering individual with deceptive speed. He may not be a 4.3 guy, but yeah, he's got game speed. And the big frame allows him to catch just about anything. He is special. Last year, he dominated ASU. He had the best game of his career at the time. 11 catches, 266 yards, and a touchdown. And it was like not even chunk plays. Like it was big plays consistently throughout the day. He dominated ASU. Are you ready for him this time around? He's going to be the biggest X factor for ASU. Not one of them. Not one of the X factors. The biggest. It's not even close. Sure, they got players all around. It's going to be important for U of A's defense. But if Tetairoa McMillan does not get going in this game, U of A doesn't have a chance. They don't have a chance to beat ASU unless they can get T-Mac going. So defense, you better be ready for it. And hopefully, you have also found a way to, I don't know, change your defense and the philosophy that you have. Brian Ward, absolutely phenomenal defensive coordinator and one of the best adjustment coaches that there are. The dude is just able to see, hey, this isn't going right. We're going to change this. Well, for 2 weeks now, we have seen the same defense get beat over and over again. You can even go back 3 weeks to UCF where Dylan Risk was having pretty good success. You can't continue to make the same mistakes for 3 or 4 straight games, especially against a team that wants nothing more than to crush your hopes. So I need Brian Ward to pull out one of his best game plans of the year. But more than anything, I just need to see that it's even slightly different. And even if it is the same, can we execute it better? I feel like this defense has been a little bit of Swiss cheese the last couple of games. And they've got to get it figured out, especially because these pass-heavy teams are having a lot of success, and U of A is a pass-heavy team. Tetairoa McMillan is the offense. They've got other guys. Here's the funny thing, though. If you look at U of A's team, Tetairoa McMillan, 1,255 yards, or 51 yards, excuse me. Second receiver, Chris Hunter, with 306 yards. Tetairoa McMillan has almost 1,000 more yards than second place. So the offense is Tetairoa McMillan and slowing him down. But that doesn't mean that U of A is not going to try and test the rest of your defense the way that these other teams have. So you need to tighten up. You need to have the best coverage possible, because a guy like Noah Fafita, who's super up and down this year, I think it's fair to say he's bad. I think that's totally fair. But he nonetheless still has one of the best weapons in football and is not afraid to throw the football wherever. ASU better have lockdown defense in this game, or it's going to be a long game. Thankfully, like I said, they've got the offensive weapons to do it. And we got some players that we're going to watch on both sides of the football coming up next on the show. This is the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. If you're looking for tickets to the Territorial Cup, and last second, I understand things happen. The holidays have been crazy. If you're looking for last-minute tickets and you're looking for a good deal, then you need to go to Game Time and check out Game Time Picks. They're going to filter out the fluff. They're only going to show you incredible deals on great seats. You're not going to have to spend tons and tons of time searching through thousands of tickets. And it's not just for sports. You can get it for concerts, comedy, theater events, and more. You can toggle their all-in pricing feature, and it's going to show you the total upfront, and there's no surprise fees at checkout. You can get a panoramic view of your seat in the app before you buy, so you know what to expect when you arrive. Best part about Game Time is their lowest price guarantee. They will credit you 110% of the difference if you find tickets in the same section and row for less, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE. That's Locked On College for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. I also want to talk to you about our friends over at Home Field. And I'll tell you what, this is the best collegiate apparel that you can get out there, but there's more. And I'm really excited to share with you guys that Home Field Apparel has officially launched their Black Friday sale. It's their most ambitious sale to date with a whopping 30% off site-wide. And seriously, everything on the site. You just need the code BFCM24. Head over to homefieldapparel.com today. Use the code BFCM24. You know, as in Black Friday CM24. Now until Sunday. Or, excuse me, now until Tuesday, December 3rd. 30% off store-wide at homefieldapparel.com. Get your apparel for any team. That can be ASU, that can be U of A, or whoever. They've got everything you need. They got vintage apparel you simply can't find anywhere else. Use the promo code B as in boy, FCM as in mom, 24 at homefieldapparel.com today. Get 30% off everything site-wide. One more time, thank you for tuning in to make Locked On Sun Devils your first view of the day. Shout out my everydayers who are here every day. All right, let's get back into this conversation. Players to watch. Now, normally what we do is 2 offense, 2 defense, and we have to talk about Sam Leavitt. Well, Sam Leavitt is being included in this. He's not just like a, hey, we got to mention him. It's a no. Sam Leavitt is one of the most important players to be watching in this football game. Like we already mentioned near the top of the show. This is his first Territorial Cup. This is a really, really big event for him, and we need to see that he is ready for this kind of occasion. Not a lot of guys are going to be able to come out and sling it with the team's biggest rivals. There's guys who come out and just flat out struggle. Hopefully Sam Leavitt's not one of those guys, but is it fair to place that expectation on him? We're going to have to wait and see. This is a beatable Arizona defense, though. There's not really anything I'm too terrified of. I know Tetairoa Davis, right? Tetairoa Davis, their really, really big corner, who's like 6'4". He's quality, and he's going to be following Jordan Tyson around for the day. I would imagine he's still beatable. The rest of their defense, it's just not anything worth writing home about. Jacob Manu is their star linebacker, and he's not been overly productive this year. He's also been out for a month. I don't know if he's going to play. As far as I'm concerned, I would imagine he's playing in what's going to be potentially his last game with the Wildcats. We'll wait and see. There just is not a lot going on with this defense. Like there's no sack artists, there's no pick artists or anything like that. There's no elite football players on this defense. Sam Leavitt, again, I'm not saying he should have the biggest day or that he has to have the biggest day, but he could have a really good day. Cam Skattebo is the other guy on offense that we got to talk about, because how can we not talk about the people's running back? He runs it, he catches it, he passes it, he punts it, and he's your mom's favorite player for a reason. Skattebo's a beast. He's a monster. He's a stud. He's the scat man, whatever you want to call him. This is a huge, huge game for him. He's going to be one of the keys to the win. You know what? I also want to toss out Jordan Tyson. Can't not talk about him, I suppose, especially because Tyson is the hottest receiver in college football right now. He is leading college football since, I want to say, like week 7. It might have been week 8 in receiving yards. He is ahead of Tetairoa McMillan for receiving yards over that course of time. He's just arguably the best receiver in college football right now. He's certainly the hottest. Well, here's your chance to prove who's better between you and T-Mac. This is going to be an amazing duel with these two receivers. And there's outside factors as well. Like obviously Levitt has to have a good day for Tyson, and Fafita has to have a good day for McMillan. Honestly, those two could still play well in spite of their quarterbacks. They're both at that point in their respective careers. Are you ready to outproduce and outduel T-Mac head-to-head? Defensively, speaking of T-Mac, I'm highlighting both of the corners, the starting corners, I should say, Javen Robinson and Keith Abney. First of all, Javen announced he is returning to Arizona State next year. Great news for the Sun Devils. He and Keith Abney have been picked on a little bit as younger corners who are still getting their feet underneath them. Now, they're still playing good football. Javen Robinson arguably saved the season last week for ASU when he took that interception off BYU's quarterback, Jake Retzlaff, for, 64 yards or something like that? He was this close to housing it. He just wasn't able to get quite there. But Robinson has big play potential. Keith Abney is one of my favorite players that we don't talk about. This is a high profile game against Tetairoa McMillan. Are you ready? Not only is it an "Are you ready?" question, it's a "What's your plan?" question. I'm also curious what Arizona's plan is for T-Mac. Are they going to have him line up all over the place? Are they going to identify a matchup they really like and just have McMillan specifically line up on whoever they like him the most against? They should like him against anybody. But if there's someone that they see and they go, hey, that defensive back, we have the best chance to have the most success against him. That'll be interesting. What's ASU's solution to that? Are we going to see bracket coverage? I have no idea, but Javen Robinson and Keith Abney are going to be the first guys to get to go up against T-Mac. Last guy on defense I want to talk about is Shamari Simmons. The leader of the defense, the veteran who calls the shots. He has been outstanding this year. Nothing short of outstanding. I would make the argument that he is the defensive MVP for this team. I wouldn't go the team MVP this year. There's just a lot of competition. He was last year, and I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with it this year. He's playing that good of football. But this is a big game for a lot of different reasons. Is Shamari going to have a huge day? I'm not going to lie, we're kind of hoping he does. Your chances of winning this game go up dramatically if Shamari Simmons has a strong day and a strong outing for the Sun Devils. We'll wait and see. But there's going to be a lot on the veteran shoulders in this game. It's going to be up to him to continue to set the edge. It's going to be up to him to continue placing the young guys in the right positions. It's going to be up to him to call out the shots. Pretty much everything he's done this year. Just amplified because it is the Territorial Cup. All right, coming up next as we wrap up the show, I got 4 bold predictions for you. 2 on offense, 2 on defense, and I have a final score that I think you guys are going to like quite a bit. That's coming up next. This is the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Get ready to tackle NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if it wins. The FanDuel Sportsbook app, it's going to give you everything you need to bet on NFL and bet live on NFL all in one place. So if you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you're thinking you like a player prop, you like the current spread, you like a money line, whatever it is, just go to the app. You can check out the latest stats. You can see a live play-by-play and more. That way, when you place your bets, you can back up that hunch that you think you got. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com today to join. And again, you will get started with $150 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 wins. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Wherever you get your shows, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. I appreciate all of you for tuning in to make us your first listen of the day. Here it is, best part of the show. Bold predictions. ASU, there's a lot at stake here in this game. I said earlier the offense is going to need to be a big portion of this win. And I'm not backing down off of that. First bold prediction, Jordan Tyson has the game high in touchdowns. Not Cam Skattebo, not T. McMillan for U of A. Jordan Tyson. I'd say at least 2. I'm going to go with a hat trick. I'm going to say Jordan Tyson has not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns in this Territorial Cup against Arizona to send the message that T-Mac is the best receiver in college football right now, and that T-Mac can step up to competition like Tetairoa McMillan and prove that he's just better. This is also a better matchup for him, in my opinion, than what ASU has against McMillan, and really what ASU has against anybody else that U of A could throw at them. To me, it's a 3-legged race for who's going to score the most touchdowns between the 3 I mentioned, Tyson, Skattebo, and McMillan. McMillan, I'm thinking will have a hard time getting in the end zone, but, I think a lot, and I'm wrong a lot. Tyson, 3 touchdowns. Bold prediction number 2. Cam Skattebo, going to have another productive day. I'm going to say 150 scrimmage yards. I don't know how to distribute it. It could be 75 rushing, 75 receiving. Maybe it's 140 rushing and 10 receiving. I don't know. But he's getting 150, and he's getting a pair of touchdowns. So, yeah, that's 5 touchdowns between 2 players. So if you're wondering, is this going to be high scoring? Well, that probably answered your question. 5 touchdowns on offense, 3 to Jordan Tyson, 2 to Cam Skattebo. Both of those guys go nuclear. Bold prediction number 3, going to the defense now. T-Mac, he's going to get yards. I'll say over 100. He has been super up and down this year. So much of it's not his fault, though. I just don't see any way that he doesn't come out and play his absolute best football with the chance to ruin his rival season. So I'm going to say he's going to get a lot of yards. We'll start at 100. I'll say he flirts with 150. He's going to get a bunch of catches, but I'll tell you what he's not going to get, a touchdown. ASU's defense, they're going to be bend but don't break for the first time this year, but only against Tetairoa McMillan. A lot of yards, probably a lot of catches. You are not finding the end zone, number 4, not in this game. Last bold prediction for the defense. ASU has had a quality pass rush this year when it comes to generating pressure. The thing that they have not been able to do is finish the plays and get sacks. They've been average. It could have been a lot better. Well, defense is getting some sacks in this game. I got ASU grabbing 4 sacks in this contest. I don't know how to distribute them. I would imagine Brian Ward's going to get tricky with it, though. I don't think it's going to be your traditional pass rush of like Clayton Smith, Prince Dorbaugh, Jeff Clark, and Elijah O'Neal all get sacks from the defensive line. No, I think you could see a situation where we get a corner blitz and someone gets a sack, or they do a 2 safety blitz, or they just mix up the linebackers and whatever they want to do. So I have no idea who's going to get the sacks, but I'm saying they get 4 of them. And to add on to that, I'm going to give them 2 turnovers. I'll say interceptions, especially with how prone to picks Fafita has been this year. I'll say interceptions. I'm saying ASU gets 2 turnovers, and they're getting 4 sacks. It's going to be a good day for the defense in that category. They're going to get torched by T-Mac a little bit, but he is not getting in the end zone. Offensively, it's going to be a big day, a lot of fireworks. Jordan Tyson, 3 touchdowns, a game high. Cam Skattebo, 150 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns. Final score. This is a high-scoring one for both teams. It's probably going to catch you off guard, and I'll explain in a second. Final score, ASU over Arizona. They end the 2-game skid. They continue to not allow U of A to have had 3 straight Territorial Cup wins since the turn of the century. They're not doing it this year. ASU's getting a win. They're going to Tucson. They're going to hear the Boo Birds, and they're going to silence them. 42-27. Richie, how did U of A get so many points? Well, I'm glad you asked. They're going to do whatever they can. I already said this earlier. Fake punts, fake field goals, trick plays, going for it on 4th down in their own territory. They're going to do all sorts of stuff. There's no holding back in this game. Another thing to consider is Brent Brennan is probably coaching for his job. I'm not a U of A insider, so I couldn't tell you if he's safe or not. I've seen conflicting reports. I've seen that he is safe, and I've seen that they're moving on. I don't know what to believe. So until then, I'm going to assume he is coaching for his job. Doesn't mean he'll get fired, but he's got to do something. So what do you got to lose? The only thing you got to lose is this football game. Potentially your job, but again, I don't know where they stand with that. But the only thing you have to lose is a football game. You're not going bowling. You don't have a winning record. So let's do everything we can to ruin ASU's season. And I think they're going to put up some points in this game. I don't think ASU's defense is going to put the clamps on U of A the way we want them to. In fact, I'll say that this is another game where the defense kind of gets a little softer in the second half, but the difference between this game and the other games, offense is not going to stop. They're not going to go up 42-3 and then get outscored 24-0 in the second half. Nope. ASU is going to put their foot on the pedal. They're going to keep it down for 60 minutes. High-scoring game for both teams, 42-27 in favor of ASU. They will move to 10-2 overall and to the Big 12 championship game after being picked to finish last. What do you guys think? How big is ASU winning the Territorial Cup? And if you think they're going to lose, then why are you here, you silly goose? Let me know in the comments. You can hit me up on Twitter as well, at RichieBrads36. The podcast is there at LO_SunDevils. Wherever you're getting your shows, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications. You'll get that update whenever we post new content. I appreciate each and every single one of you for tuning in to make us your first listen of the day. And of course, a special shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. I will see you guys very soon. Yeah, a little bit later today, Locked On Sun Devils has a special surprise for you guys. Still not going to tell you what it is. Just make sure those notifications on and you will get it. The latest I will see you after today will be Monday, where we do our game recap, good, bad, takeaways, hopefully game balls, or what needs fixing. I would very safely assume I will go live on Saturday night. I just have a watch party going on for this game. So it depends when people leave. I would bet on me having a YouTube live. So again, keep those notifications on. And if you follow Twitter, keep those notifications on too. That's where I'm going to keep you guys updated. So I'll see you guys very soon. Until that next time, you keep it locked right here on Locked On Sun.